Man, I got this weird taste in my mouth. Came from the weirdly marinated chicken. I'm not a fan of the spice blend used for this. Now the taste is all up in my mouth. So today I more so gathered Magikarp eggs. Like, I collected them in bulk before actually hatching them. So now I have 6 boxes of Magikarp eggs. It almost is like the good old days where I would collect eggs throughout the day, pre-walk them as well, and then hatch them all at once at nighttime. Yeah, the problem was I was hatching Magikarp eggs too fast. I was hatching them faster than I actually collected them. So I collected a big batch of eggs in bulk first. And now, as I hatch more eggs, I'm gonna keep on collecting them. So today, we only have 2 episodes of shows to talk about. You know, there's no final episode of Beast Games just yet. We're all done with Secret Level. So all we have to talk about is From and Invincible. Also the fact that I'm no longer discussing Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man due to the fact that, well, I can't even watch the show. I am actually quite tired today. I came home early from work. Well, wasn't really busy at work at all to begin with. I came home early today to bathe my dog, specifically clean his butt once again. You know, he doesn't poo as clean anymore as an elderly dog. Of course, we wipe him every time he poops, but, you know, it'll still slowly accumulate on the fur. So whenever it becomes too big a mess, I gotta bathe him, I gotta clean him. Put him in the bathtub and just take the shower head, rinse off whatever I can. Well, I say whatever I can, as if I don't make it completely clean, get rid of everything, and then, you know, shampoo and condition. And I know people are gonna make the argument, it's not healthy for the dog's fur, it's not good for the dog's coat to, you know, constantly bathe, removing all the natural oils. Well, it's like, well, tough shit. If he poos and it's not clean back there, not a whole lot I can do besides, you know, bathe him and clean him. So, you know, tough shit. Ugh. Oh God, that's loud. So I think once I'm done From Season 2 as well as Invincible, I think that might be where I call it for, you know, the amount of shows I watched to discuss here, shiny hunting. Just because, well, we're coming to the end. We only have 1 hunt left after this. You know, I don't want to break down a show and be cut off halfway. You know? And then I start a different game, and then playing through that new game, I randomly start discussing halfway into a season of a show. Now, you know, it is a risk, because we all saw how long Mewtwo took. And you know, these last 2 shiny hunts has every possibility to take even longer than that did. So if I don't watch any shows and it turns out to be an extremely long finale, well, then would have just wasted all that time. And besides, Invincible, we're gonna be getting that for 6 more weeks. I think 7. Not counting this week. Wait, no. Whatever. Because remember, 3 episodes came out all at once. So that leaves 5 more. Wait, that means 5 more weeks. Because there should be 8 episodes. What the hell am I talking about? Also today, I got a shiny Shinx in Pokemon Go. I don't think 1 shiny Shinx is worth me moving the camera and then, you know, showing you a screenshot and having to recenter. So I don't know if a shiny Shinx screenshot is really worth that. So let me tell you what I actually decided that I'm going to start doing today. So you guys know how, you know, the Pokemon Home dexes, you complete them and you get, you know, shiny rewards? Like how recently I was working on my BDSP Sinnoh Dex, BDSP Home Sinnoh Dex, to get that shiny Manaphy. So, you know, if you scroll at the very bottom, you see one that is for Pokemon Go. I've decided today to start trying to fill that out as much as I can. Off chance, exactly the same thing. You complete the Home Pokemon Go Dex and you get some sort of reward. Although, hear me out, I don't think it's gonna happen. For a multitude of reasons. 1, Pokemon Go is not, you know, Game Freak, headquarters, homemade. You know, it's a spin-off, made by another company. So because it's not like mainstream, like, you know, part of their mainline games, I don't think it counts. So that's 1, Pokemon Go's not mainline. And 2, well, not every Pokemon is available in Pokemon Go. At least not as of right now. Yes, they're gonna add more Pokemon over time, and, you know, eventually, every Pokemon will be available. It's gonna take, like, maybe another decade or 2. But, you know, the more they add, the more Pokemon games, more generations, the more Pokemon designs. Like, they're just gonna have more and more and more to add into Pokemon Go, so it's like, where's the cutoff, right? But regardless, as of right now, not every Pokemon is available in Pokemon Go. So that's reason 2. Reason 3, the ones that are available, well, the spawns shift all the time. Pokemon Go constantly gets these, like, in-game events where specific themed Pokemon show up. So not every Pokemon spawns all the time, making it harder to get a specific one that you need. So yeah, there's just several, and I mean several, tons and tons of reasons why I really doubt Game Freak would, you know, lock a shiny behind completing the Home Pokemon Go Dex. Because it just doesn't make sense. So why am I doing it? Well, for the off chance that they're actually crazy enough to do so. And like I said, it's right now, literally as of right now, it is physically impossible to complete the Dex in Home. the Pokemon Go decks in home, just because, like I said, not everything is in Pokemon Go yet. Sinnoh Tour has come and gone. Unova Tour's coming up in a couple months. We still don't have Fion, Manaphy, or Arceus in Pokemon Go. So not every Pokemon is in Pokemon Go yet. So, you know, I'm just slowly going to work my way through it, little by little. All the small things I can catch, you know, the wild Bidoofs and wild Wormadams. What? Wormadams. Wild Wurmples. You know, just the wild random spawns that come up. And I figured, well, the stuff I catch and I don't need, I just transfer anyways. So why not try to hold off on them, collect them in bulk, send them to Pokemon Home just to get them registered into the decks. I'm gonna release them as they go into Pokemon Home anyways. So like, instead of transferring them in Pokemon Go, why not just send them to Home and get them registered? You know? So yeah, I'm just gonna do that for like the small things that spawn everywhere. And then I'm especially gonna keep an eye out for like the more rare spawns, the spawns that are more fully evolved. Because, you know, earlier today I caught things like a fully evolved Granbull, I caught things like a Piloswine, Monferno, I caught a Masquerain, you know, other things that I caught that aren't as easy to get, I don't really need, and well, may as well send them and get the home registration. Stuff like on the Daily Incense, I got a fully evolved Rhyperior and Walrein. I don't really need that stuff, they were terrible IVs. So I figured, well, they're just wasting my storage, I'm not ever going to need or use them. And instead of just transferring them, let me just send them to Pokemon Home. So yeah, I'm going to slowly work on that. Whatever I catch and don't need, I'll just send it to Pokemon Home, get them registered, and then I'll release them. Now obviously there is restrictions. Number one, you're limited to how much you can send to Pokemon Home, because you have this like in-game quote-unquote energy it takes to send them to home. It takes hours to days to charge it up. So if I use it all at once, well, I gotta wait like, I don't know, a real life week before I'm able to send in bulk again. So it's not unlimited. I cannot unlimitedly send them to Pokemon Home. And two, what about stuff like legendaries and mythicals? Well, I'll deal with that when the time comes. For now, deal with like the more common, smaller things. And besides, you think over all the years of playing Pokemon Go, I don't have an excessive amount of useless legendaries? You know, whenever I catch a legendary from a 5-star raid, I don't transfer it. It just stays in my game. Even if it is horrible IVs or not shiny. Like, it just stays in my game, so who cares? I could just send up a terrible IV Dialga to Pokemon Home, and it wouldn't matter because I literally have 100 more in my game. And in terms of mythicals, well, at some day, Pokemon Go's gonna die. Niantic isn't gonna keep Pokemon Go running for all of eternity. At some point, the servers are gonna go down. Some point, the game is going to die. And if you don't transfer it to Pokemon Home, well, tough luck. Too bad. So one day, whenever Pokemon Go finally shuts down for good, that'll be a very sad day, but still, it's gonna happen someday. Whenever that happens, then I'll transfer all the mythicals. You know, I was actually debating to transfer over, like send up a handful of mythicals in my Pokemon Go, for the sole reason that they are in Pokeballs. You guys know that my Pokemon living dex in Home, everything is in a regular Pokeball if I can help it. So it pisses me off that mythicals are in Cherish Balls. There are some mythicals that I can catch in regular Pokeballs, like the Gen 5 Victini event, you know, with the DNS trick, the Keldeo and Sword and Shield, Meloetta and Scarlet and Violet. Like, all of those ones I can catch in a regular Pokeball. Things that I cannot catch in a regular Pokeball at the moment in mainline games. Well, I cannot catch a Pokeball Marshadow, Zarude. I think there was one more. I can't really think about it right now. You know what I mean. Like, it pisses me off that in my home living decks, Pokemon like Zarude and Marshadow are in Cherish Balls. I want them to be in a regular Pokeball. So I was debating, like, do I really want to transfer up? Do I really want to send my Zarude and Marshadow from Pokemon Go into Pokemon Home? Yes, they'll have the ugly Pokemon Go logo, but like, once again, tough shit. I decided not to, for now. Just because, well, they're rarer and technically more valuable in Pokemon Go. However, like I said, one day, whenever Pokemon Go dies, then I'll transfer them up. As well as all my shinies, you know? All my shinies. Unfortunately, all my hundo, you know, 100% IVs are going to die in Pokemon Go. Because if I send them up, I send them to the console, their IVs aren't going to be the same. Yes, I could still have them as, like, memories. You know, this is the exact 100% IV Grookey I had in Pokemon Go, but it's like, it's not the same, you know? It's not the same. And I do have a Hundo Grookey, remember. So, yeah. So I decided I'm going to start working on my Pokemon Home, Pokemon Go decks whenever I can, right? I catch things that I don't need. Instead of transferring, I'll just send them to Pokemon Home. And then I'll transfer them. And then I'll release them after they're registered. It is absolutely meaningless, but hey, why not, right? And I don't mean the Pokemon. Here, let's change up the music. How about... And, you know, am I gonna go crazy and say, for example, I catch a Seedot in Pokemon Go, I transfer it to Pokemon Home, and then in the mainline games, I evolve it into a Nuzleaf and a Shiftry to get both of them registered? Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to see how crazy I go with this. Or maybe a week from now, I'll completely forget it. Like, oh, it's such a waste of my time. I'm not gonna bother anymore. You know, had I been doing this the whole time for years, you know how filled out my home Pokemon Go decks would be? I think right now I'm just shy of like 300 registered. Had I been doing that for years at this point, it would have been closer to like 600, I'm guessing. I would love to see someone out there actually have completed this, you know, as much as the game would allow up to this point. Because like I said, not everything is in Pokemon Go just yet. You know, at what point do I say, screw that guy, let's talk about From? Like, at what point do I say that? Because I asked him if he's working and he didn't reply, which kind of would imply he is working, so he's not able to reply. Hey! You know, yesterday night, when I went to that dinner, as the dinner started, as I was, chewing and eating my food, I accidentally bit the inside of my lip and it started to bleed. And what really sucks is, it's always in the same spot. The way my mouth is positioned, the way that my mouth is structured, there's always this one spot on, the inner side of my bottom left lip. If I'm not careful, I always bite. I always bite it and it always starts bleeding. There's probably that one spot inside my mouth that is nothing but just scar tissue, given how many times I accidentally bit it and caused it to bleed. And it sucks, I'm just trying to eat my food. But every now and then I accidentally bite down on the exact same spot. It's not even biting my tongue, it's biting the inside of my lip. And the exact same spot too, every single time. You really do forget how much force there is in chewing. Because, every time you accidentally bite your lip or your tongue, it starts bleeding. It's like, that's a lot of force. You're technically able to bite through your own tongue or bite through your own finger. Your teeth have the strength to do that, but your brain just won't allow it. I'm sure there's some people out there who can do it, but you can only do that party trick one time. So earlier today, I was sent that Google Maps really did change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. The fact that Google Maps really did change that. And then another friend of mine sent, it's now bracketed, the Gulf of America in brackets, Gulf of Mexico. Kind of wild. I still have yet to evolve that shiny Feebas. I still need to do that. I'm clearly not going to evolve it in my Brilliant Diamond game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to either Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet. And then with the Prism Scale trade to myself. I need to figure out which game I have a spare Prism Scale in. So let's see, tomorrow I'm going to have my day off. So, wondering, what am I gonna watch tomorrow? I really should just spend tomorrow just binge watching the entire rest of Daredevil. At least season 1, I need to at least finish that. And then get started on season 2 and 3. If I was smart, I would just jump to season 3 and just rewatch that. Since I've seen season 1 and 2 enough times. Season 3 I've only seen once. So if I was smart, I would simply just rewatch season 3. And then, you know, call that enough for my refresher for Daredevil Born Again. But nah, let's rewatch the whole show. You know, it still kind of blows my mind that, yes, Daredevil is indeed MCU canon. Like, even the Netflix show. It still blows my mind, you know? For years, we've been debating, is it? Is it or is it not? And now, as a concrete fact, it is. It's kind of hard to believe. You know, the fact that I'm seeing, yes, confirmed, everything I'm watching in Daredevil Season 1, this really is in the same world as Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Asgard, you know, Doctor Strange. It's like, damn, Daredevil's just a street-level vigilante in the same world as all these gods. It's so crazy to think it really is in the same world. You know, when are the Avengers, when is anything Marvel Studios going to cover the fact that there are dragon bones below New York City? That sounds like a Shang-Chi kind of thing to cover. Though, you know, they're pretty touchy on using the Iron Fist character, or anything Iron Fist related. Aw, lucky. I see my friend just posted into the group chat he pulled the full art Giratina in TCG Pocket. Lucky! Of course I want that card. You know, now that I've had time to really try out TCG Pocket, I like it this way. You know, where I don't have to spend copious amounts of money trying to pull out a physical, real-life card that's rare. And for what? Right? Just to sleeve it up and display it? So I like it this way. I like the fact that I don't need to spend any money, collect the cool cards, and, you know, yeah. It certainly beats the ulterior, which is literally spending money for the slim chance to draw a rare card, meaning you get several of the exact same common card. It's like, I don't want to spend $1,000 trying to get that one secret rare, hollow, whatever other terms there are. I don't want to do that, you know? So in a way, now that I've had time to really try out the app, I like it this way. I get to collect to my heart's content, and I don't have to spend any money. Obviously, you're restricted to 2 packs a day, but you know what I mean. You know what else I'm gonna do? My sister downloaded the app just because she saw like a BTS member use it. And she stopped playing it because, you know, she didn't know that there were new cards gonna come out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use her phone's app. I'm gonna pull cards from her phone as well. And then, you know, eventually, whenever, you know, there is a good number of stuff accumulated, I trade it to my own game. It's not like she cares to the level I do. Why didn't I think of this sooner? And you know what? Speaking of thinking of something sooner, following back on what I said earlier about transferring up mythicals from Pokemon Go to Pokemon... Wait, yeah, Pokemon Home to transferring up mythicals from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home. Why didn't I just make another account, right? Well, I thought about it, but then I got too lazy to do anything of the sort. I actually did think about it. I was debating making another account just to catch the mythicals, just to transfer to myself. So my main game, I keep it in my phone, and then the alt account, I transfer up. I debated, I was going to, but then I got too lazy to do so. Alright, let's see. Well, I'm gonna wait until 10:30 to see if that guy will show up, and if not, I'll talk about the goddamn episode. Yeah, it's about 25 minutes from now, so let me see what video there is from just me to watch. And you know something else I realized that, well, now it's too late for me to change my mind. Remember last time how I bought this from the Apple Store? Well, now I realize maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have bought this version. Because had I bought it without the adapter built in, and, you know, still the headphone jack, I could use it on, like, say, my laptop, something else. But no, because I bought it like this already with the adapter built in, I have no choice but to use this on my phone. So if I ever wanted to use it on my laptop or anything else, I can't. Maybe I should have thought about that. Whoops. Oh well. By the time I break this, lose this, or it naturally just wears down, what's another $30 to buy another one? You know, if you simply just buy AirPods, this wouldn't be a problem. I don't want to hear it!
Ugh.
Oh, you know what I just remembered watching through this Persona video? I remembered hearing this like stupid explanation on which is canon. Persona 4 vanilla game or Persona 4 Golden. And then I remember hearing if you chose the option to not save Marie in Persona 4 Golden at the very end of the game, then the original vanilla Persona 4 would be canon because the events took place without her. I don't know. Sure, it kind of could make sense. It's kind of like a Zelda downfall timeline, what if this happened kind of way. But like, wow. I guess that could work. If you chose not to save her, then the events would play out in Persona 4 Vanilla, where she just wasn't there, wasn't present. Yeah, I guess I could explain it. Explain which game is canon, but technically that would mean Golden is canon, and if you choose not to, if you choose not the proper ending, then the original game is canon. But it's still a what-if scenario, right? Anyways, damn it, this guy's here, and I was enjoying my video too. For today, we have an episode of From and Invincible. Wow, must be nice. Must be nice for you, huh? Hearing the content you watched be talked about. Damn, if only I got that same treatment. If only I had that luxury too. Hold on, before I talk about the show, let me find the name of a song. I just got reminded it even exists. So let me figure out the name of it real quick. It should be obvious, but I can't remember the name, so I gotta look up Persona 3 Reload OST. Now I gotta dig through this OST to figure out what the song name was. Give me a second. Ah, stupid ads. Ugh. Well, that's not exactly the song I was thinking of. Ooh, you know what? This one's not bad for background music. I'll save that one. What the? This is the name of... Wait, no. This is a song that was playing in the nightclub. The name of the song is Everyone Loves 1989? That's the name of it? Is that what that song's called? Master of Tartarus? The Freaky Friday song? Is that what that's called? Damn, no sub notifications? You damn right. Now where the hell is that song? Aha! I found it! But the video I'm watching is in Japanese! What's the English version's name? Do you even get anything from Prime subs? You know I don't. Why can I not find the English version of this song? Or at least the name? Enjoy the gift of nothing then? Oh, you mean you quitting all the shows I recommended? That's not... Wait, this is a version of the song in the original game. Is this what it's called? Memories of the School? Is that what this is called? I feel like people who know the names of the OST, me just saying that, it's like, oh, that's the song you were looking for. Okay, found it. Give me a second. Let me go close the door real quick. Alright, you guys ready to discuss From and Invincible? Okay, what I just said about closing the door, never mind. Turns out my dog is sleeping in here, so I can't close the door, otherwise he'll be trapped in here. So instead what I did was, I saw lights on outside and they must be turned off. Which episode of Invincible am I talking about tonight? I'm talking about episode 2, so you're in luck. Alright, so first let's talk about From. Yay. This is totally not the right song to be talking about when it comes to From. However, honestly, can you think of a more fitting song to talk about the show From to? If you're watching the show From and you're not thinking about a tune like this, I can't help you. Talk about Invincible? Invincible first? No, fuck you. Alright, so From... This was episode, I believe, I think it was 8. I think last time I talked about episode 7, and I may have called it episode 6. So, whoops. Let me just double check. Was this from season 2, episode 8? Which means I'm almost done with the season, thank God. The sooner I'm done with this show, the sooner I get to move on with my life and the rest of my sanity. Okay, yes, last time I did watch episode 7, and I just get the feeling I called it episode 6. So, yeah, last time I watched episode 7, today I watched episode 8. We good? Cool. Alright, so this episode opens up, and immediately I had criticisms. Immediately. It was on small things. So we opened up the episode with Kenny's mom cooking something. Kenny walks in and, they're speaking Chinese. Thank God for subtitles. Because when it comes to this show, subtitles are not a guarantee. But hey, they actually did have the budget to put in the subtitles this time. So, Kenny's mom is cooking, and I immediately recognize, that pot doesn't look right. If you're trying to imply she's putting something into boiling water, that does not look right. That is not what a pot of boiling water looks like. Like the way the steam was coming out, I can instantly tell. They probably just put dry ice in that. Or liquid nitrogen. I can instantly tell. There was no boiling water in that pot. So I could instantly tell something looked off. And then, as Kenny walked into the room, the phone on the wall started to ring. It took a second for it to click in my head. It's like, okay, the phone's ringing. And then it hit me wait a second. The phone is ringing. That's not normal here. The phone is ringing. It's when the phone was ringing, it took me a second. Okay, the phone's ringing. Wait a second. The phone ringing isn't normal here. So, Kenny answers the phone, and then you hear this, this jarble. This, ominous voice on the other end saying who knows what. I'm sure if you, increase the volume, you can kind of tell what the voice is mumbling. But, Kenny couldn't understand, so he's just like, hello? Who is this? And then he hangs up. I'm just like, Kenny, why would you hang up to that? That is not smart. That was not smart to do. Why would you hang up on that? But anyways, well, Kenny hears a noise, and it's coming from the pot of quote-unquote boiling water. So he goes in to look, and then inside the pot, I couldn't tell if they were cockroaches or cicadas. I think they were cicadas based on the sound they were making. And just looking inside the pot, I can instantly tell, man, that is liquid nitrogen. That ain't no damn boiling water. It's like, you really think you can fool me, production team? Then again, I can't blame them, right? If I was a director, a set piece person, yeah, I'd probably use liquid nitrogen too. Because first of all, if they actually use legitimate, real life, living, breathing, cicadas, and they don't want to boil them alive, they're not lobsters that they're just gonna have for dinner later that night after they're done shooting. So, to not quote-unquote harm the insects, they would probably just use liquid nitrogen. Though, I can't imagine it doesn't quote-unquote harm them, but at least they're not dying. So there's that. I also didn't really pay attention to the end credits. Maybe there was a line somewhere that said, no insects were harmed in the making of this episode. I didn't really pay attention, so if there were, that'd be pretty funny. And then, turns out, Kenny was dreaming. Kenny wakes up, and then he sees a burn mark on his arm, which he got during his dream, where a cicada came out of the quote-unquote boiling water, and then it burned him on the arm. But just like Nightmare on Elm Street, if you get hurt in your dream, you get hurt for real. That's the gore, the 10 budget? What the hell are you talking about? Okay, so we see that Kenny is now affected by his dream. His real life is now affected by his dream. So, I forgot to mention this in the last episode. So, first of all, in this episode, we finally learned that buzz cut haircut having guy's name. His name is Randall. And, yeah, that about checks out. His name being Randall, it's like, yep, that kind of fits. If it wasn't Randall, I would have guessed his name was Sid. So, last episode, when Jim and Randall were talking, discussing using the drone to get the antenna nice and high to get a signal, Jim proposed the idea to Randall that, what if this is all a big experiment? The fact that there are people watching us. And then Randall plants the idea into Jim's mind, well, if this is an experiment, you have to ask yourself, how many people here are in on it to make sure the experiment runs smoothly? So, with that idea out there, now it's planted into Jim's mind perhaps some people in the town, there are imposters among us. Okay, so this episode, they're at the flipped over RV. One would think they would try to, strip it of its resources, take the RV apart bolt by bolt. But no, they just leave it crashed on the side, whatever. So, they're working on the whole drone thing, or as Captain Park pronounced it, drong. So, they're still throwing the idea out there, who here are really in on it? They even toss back and forth the idea that I'm glad they at least brought up, because just like with us, the viewer, we haven't seen it yet either. Randall asked Jim, well, have you seen anyone die yet? Actually, have you watched with your own eyes someone get ripped apart yet, instead of just seeing the aftermath? It's well, no, I haven't. Yeah, neither have us, the viewer. So, that's a pretty valid point, Jim didn't see anyone die with his own eyes. However, right before I was about to make the argument that, what about literally a couple episodes ago, where he was trapped under the house, that brick guy who was crushed by the house to death? Crushed to death by the house? There, that's how you phrase it. And then the Tom guy who ran the bar previously, it's yeah, what about them? He kind of saw them die in person. Well, who's to say that, they're not actors, right? But that brick guy was on the bus. And a lot of people on the bus died. Randall proposed, well, maybe there were actors who were planted. So now Randall really has this idea, thanks to Jim planting the the thought experiment in his head, what if this is all an experiment? Randall now running with the idea, there are some people in on it. Randall, once again, brings up a pretty good point. When you first got here, who enforced the rules? Who told you how everything worked around here? Well, there was Sheriff Stevens, there was also Donna. It's yeah. With this idea in mind, that does seem a little sus. However, Jim tries to make you the argument no way, because out of everyone who died, yes, we only saw the aftermath. However, Sarah, she killed her own brother. It was an accident, but she still did. But then Randall's just yes, but what if he's still alive? What if that was just an act? So they go and try to question Sarah herself, or question Sarah themselves, to see if any of this nonsense lines up. So, touch back on this in a moment. We get other stuff with Sarah. She goes over to Boyd and is just I got no place here. I would like to go back out into the woods, into the forest with the talisman. So Sarah's bored, and you can't really blame her. She has no life in town. She's not welcome in town. Nobody likes her. Nobody trusts her. Her house is gone. So she's only resorted to living in the church. There's nothing to do. There's no TV in the place. She can't even really go out and get food because Kenny's mom doesn't like her anymore. So there's really nothing for her to do. She lives in the church basement, which isn't the prettiest of sights. And she has to wait, like, you know, for someone to bring her food, I'm assuming 3 times a day. That's not really a life to live. So she wants to get out. She wants to leave because she's not welcome there. And she wants to try to do something. Episode 10 is a banger, though. Seasons 3, 4, and 5 of The Walking Dead were bangers, too. So was Season 5 of Arrow. So let's see. This episode once again gave us a whole bunch of dialogue that happened off screen. When the movie Immaculate even got the show don't tell trope correctly, that really is not a good sign for this goddamn show. So, Boyd is checking up on his son. Thankfully, they show him trying to be a father. They haven't forgotten about that. Boyd picks up the fact that Ellis is smiling a lot, so he must be happy about something. Ellis is about to be like, Dad, I got good news to tell you, but then Donna shows up and, you know, disrupts them. Like, don't worry, Dad, I'll tell you later. God damn it, that means Fatima broke the news to Ellis off screen. Damn, that would have been nice to see. Seeing a character find out the news that he'll become a father, that's a nice moment to see. Seeing the flood of joy, you know, that'd be nice to see. Oh, too bad, not in this show. And then the reason Donna disrupted the nice moment is because Boyd wanted to talk to her in private about Sarah wanting to go back out because she's bored. Well, we also got that conversation off screen in the same episode. So thanks for that, writers. Good job. I wonder if he will like his kid, though? Huh? At this point, I'm not even sure if Fatima's actually pregnant or not. Who knows? Maybe these are just coincidental signs that are evidence that she's quote-unquote turning. Maybe the signs of turning resemble the early stages of pregnancy. What would the signs be for a guy? I don't know. So Donna also tells Boyd that Elgin, the end of the last episode was a dream. Elgin dreamt that he was in a bathtub and that he was trying to be drowned by some sort of woman thing. He completely fails to mention that the music box showed up in his dream. So, okay, that's something important to keep in mind, because Elgin said that he almost drowned in his sleep. How's that possible? Well, here it is. It is here. Elgin almost drowned in his dream, so when he woke up, he was coughing out water. That doesn't really physically work, but in this place it does. So, Boyd also mentions to Elgin, hey, we actually did get something out of that monster's corpse. We got bile. Now all we have to do is figure out how to use it as a weapon to see if it'll kill more of them. Elgin brings up the idea, you have a gun, right? Why not just coat the bullets with it and shoot it into them? And then, that kind of flips on a light switch in Boyd's head. Now, the idea, while fine on paper, that's not exactly how it works. You can't exactly just dip a bullet into a liquid, fire it, and then, expect all of it to not come off as the bullet is racing through the air. And what if the bile dries and hardens inside the gun? Well, unless you know how to take a gun apart and clean up bile, it's gonna clog up the gun. So it's not that simple. Unless it truly is. What do I know, right? I never dipped a bullet in bile and shot it before, so what do I know? Maybe it is that simple. You simply just dip the bullet into the liquid and then you just fire it and it works. Maybe it really is that simple. And that also brings up a good question too. Just like where the infinite ammo comes from in The Walking Dead, where are these characters getting all these bullets at? Unless they have their own refinery in the town I don't know about, where do they keep getting these bullets at? Well, Boyd, now with this idea in mind, he goes and brings it up to Kenny. He sees the burn mark on Kenny's arm. He questions that, of course. And then he brings up the idea to Kenny. Silver bullets. He probably could have done a better job explaining. Because, he brought up silver bullets and didn't even explain the whole part about werewolves. All he said was, silver bullets. If we simply just coat the bullets in the bile and shoot it at the monsters from a safe distance, what'd you bring up the silver bullets for? You didn't even mention the whole explanation with the silver bullets. What'd you even bring it up for then? So, they go back to the monster's corpse and try to get any last drop of bile they can out of it. When they get there, when Boyd and Kenny get there, they are told by Marielle that she heard sounds coming from the boiler room, which is where the corpse is at. Now, on the assumption that the body is still moving, it's still alive, it's like I said, as a precaution, why didn't you guys just chop off the head? Right? Why didn't you guys just do that? If you're so worried about the body coming back to life, why don't you just chop off the head before you even cut it open? And hey, here's another thing to think about. If you cut the thing open and all of its organs inside were all dried up, what about the brain? If you simply just chop the head in half, is the brain inside still juicy? Or is it dried up and shriveled as well? Because if it's dried, how does this thing even function? So why didn't you just chop off the head? And in the meantime, split the head open to see if the brain is even still squishy or not. Or if it's just a dried up rock at this point. It's why didn't anyone think about this stuff? Dumbasses. Let's say the brain is still nice and soft, nice and moist. That's how these monsters work, even though the organs are all dried up. Well, you could probably extract some sort of juice from the still moist brain. And hey, maybe that'll kill them. No one thought about that? And you know what? If they did split open the head and see that the brain is completely dried and crumbly, at least they know. At least they would know. So, characters in the show are absolute idiots, not thinking about any of this stuff. But yeah, so Kenny and Boyd, they go into the room with the corpse and they try to investigate. They realize that that thing is swarming with bugs, the same cicadas that Kenny saw in his dream. So, they're beginning to notice a pattern. Elgin saw something in his dream that affected him in real life. So did Kenny. So they're beginning to piece together, okay, something's going on with everyone's dreams. Everyone's dreaming, and it's affecting them in real life. I think Marielle forgot to mention that she also had a dream where the monster came back to life. She did say that to Christy in the last episode, however, she did not mention the music box, which is like the connecting link between all of this. Except for Kenny, I don't think he saw it. Or maybe he did, I don't know. But the fact that everyone is not mentioning the music box they see in their dream, it seems like something important, you know? Boyd would be able to link it all together. Like, wait a second, you're seeing a music box in your dream? When I had the worms inside my skin, that's what I was seeing all the time. It's like, it's frustrating writing. Anyways, before I talk about the next scene with this thing, Jim and Randall actually went to go talk to Sarah, questioning her if her brother Nathan is still alive or not. Out of nowhere, Donna shows up, and Randall just thinks it's mad sus. Pretty good timing, Someone who knew how things worked around here, someone who gave you the rundown when you first get here. She coincidentally showed up to try to stop this kind of discussion, stop us from questioning. So Randall is more suspicious now than ever. Well, Jim, not wanting any problems, he and Randall leaves. However, Randall is not convinced. In fact, Randall is now more suspicious than ever. Donna then goes to see Boyd at the clinic. And, you know, it's here that Boyd tells Donna, like, we killed one of the monsters and we have its corpse downstairs. Well, by the time Donna goes and takes a look, all of the cicadas are gone. So, Donna really urges Boyd to burn the body, burn it. Now, at this point in the episode, I was thinking the plot was gonna go in a certain direction, and I was predicting what was gonna happen next. However, no. What I was predicting was not about to happen. First of all, Jim devises this idea, this plan, which, it's not a bad plan, honestly. It's risky as hell, but it's not a bad plan. Jim proposes an idea. If this really is an experiment, they need to see what the monsters do, you know, do normally. What do they do when they're not hunting, when no one's watching them? Because at night, everyone covers up their windows, everyone locks their doors. Nobody really sees what the monsters do. So Jim proposes an idea. During nighttime, Randall, sneaks away from the bus that he's been exiled to. He and Jim go to the RV that flipped. They spend the night there, with a talisman of course, and they observe what the monsters do. They observe the monsters without knowing the monsters are being watched by them. So that's Jim's idea. And so I thought the episode was going in a totally different direction. What I thought was going to happen was, because Donna really urged Boyd to burn the monster's body, I thought Jim and Randall at nighttime were going to see, like, wait a second, they're burning one of the monster's bodies. Come on, man, you gotta believe they're in on it now. They're getting rid of evidence. I kind of thought that's where the episode was gonna go, but no, that's not where the episode went. Is this dude even still watching? The other storyline in this episode, so it includes Victor. Victor gives Ethan his, winter jacket that he had when he was younger. And inside that jacket had a toy that Victor forgot about. And that, that flashbangs memories back into Victor's mind about his mom. And we see the events proceeding to the scene we saw of young Victor in Season 1, coming out of the cellar and seeing all the bodies dead on the ground. I really question, what the hell was this woman's idea? What could possibly be worth it to risk your own life and leave your son alone in a cellar and go out to where there are monsters? What could possibly be the plan here? It's not explained. Yes, we also see Victor's mom for the first time, but like, what the hell was the plan? She just told her son, stay here until morning. You need to be brave. Just keep on drawing your pictures, and then she just leaves. Like, what the hell was the plan? It will be explained. Better be a damn good explanation. Because, like, remember, this was before Boyd found the talismans. So, they would have needed to find hiding places. Unless long ago, decades ago, they discovered a monster-killing weapon that they're about to do their last stand. What could possibly be worth it, leaving your son in the cellar and you going out to risk your life? And if she was going out to save other people who were stuck out there, well, it's noble. But if I was there, man, fuck the other people. I'm trying to stay alive to take care of my kid. Especially when there are monsters roaming around at night. Also, Tabitha took Jade to where she came out of, like the cave that the monsters spawn from at night. Jade's just like, this is where the monsters come from at night? Obviously, he's hesitant to go in. You know, he's about to go. If he were to go in, he'd be right in the center of the den where the monsters reside. Who knows how many are in there and just waiting to tear him apart? You know, what would be a really good plan is to have some brave soul, preferably not a series regular, not a character we care about, go in and investigate. Take one for the team. Although, you know, the people here, they're not one to sacrifice lives that way. Man, send the guy who stabbed Ellis. Send him. So, you know, Tabitha mentions, like, that symbol you keep seeing. We saw it here, Victor and I. And then Jade gets all pissed. Like, God damn it, we made a deal, and he didn't tell me everything he knew about the symbol. So he rushes over to the diner where Victor is at. Well, Victor being Victor, he leaves like, don't talk to me. I don't want to tell you. Jade is getting pissed. Jade is fed up with Victor, and honestly, at this point, so am I. It's like, why can't you just tell us everything you know about the symbol? Everything helps. Everything you know is useful for us to try to figure out how to get home. Don't you want to go home, Victor? And then Victor goes, this is my home. And yeah, it's kind of true. Victor grew up here. Victor lived his entire life here. This actually is his home, as sad as that is. So I can't blame Jade's frustration. You know, I'm frustrated with Jade. I'm frustrated with Victor as well. God damn it, man. I want to slap you if you don't tell us everything you know. Later on, Tabitha goes and tries to comfort Victor. You know, Victor tries to remember what his mother told him before she died. He can't remember. But then, you know, remember the fact that Victor, he draws everything so that if he ever forgets, he can always jog his memory with the pictures he drew. However, with the memories regarding his mother, he put those pictures in a very particular place that nobody would have ever found. And I kind of question the whole nobody would ever look there kind of thing. So Victor and Tabitha, they go to that junkyard full of cars, and the pictures are in his mother's car's trunk. And I'm just thinking, really? nobody ever thought to look there? In a place where you're stuck like this, and resources are scarce, one would think you would strip clean everything that comes from the cars. Absolutely everything. So you would search the cars top to bottom for absolutely everything. So I kind of find it hard nobody ever found those pictures, but then again, a couple arguments to go against that. One, not many people know about the car junkyard. Not even Jade knew until Victor showed him. And two, well, what are people gonna do with a couple of kids' drawings? They're gonna scan through the cars for every last bit of resource. They're gonna open the trunk, see these pictures, like, what's this gonna do for me? And just leave it there. So, whatever. Victor looks at the old drawings, and then he remembers. He remembers that these drawings aren't his. Flashback, he had a sister. A sister who obviously died, because one, we don't see her in present day, and two, we see in the flashback that his sister ran after their mother. So Victor had a sister. One would think that'd be a pretty big memory to forget. But, you know, I understand. Childhood trauma, blocked memories, I get it. So, you know, I can't blame Victor for not remembering he had a sister. Damn, poor Victor. He had a pretty rough life. Let's see, what else happened? You know, before I talk about the way the episode ended, there was this one quick scene where Victor in the diner with the Matthews kids, they were telling him about the internet, and Victor didn't believe it was real. Damn, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, like, oh yeah, Victor would not know the internet's a thing. It's such a staple in our day-to-day lives now. Someone like we got the shiny. Someone like Victor, he would not know it exists. Alright, got the shiny. Time to set up, skill swap. We are getting these shinies surprisingly quick. So I don't know what happened with Mewtwo, why that one took so long. Oh right, I can't paralyze this. Oh well, I set up the harvest strategy. I forgot to take off the rubber bands once again. So because I can't paralyze this, which I didn't even think about, my only resort here is to simply lower its health down and hope I can catch it. Yes, keep using Earthquake. Don't affect me. Once again. Oh man, if only that wasn't a crit. It would have been in the yellow health. Alright, now I'm going to send out Blissey to tank all the hits. Throw down a Roto catch. And now, just chuck Pokeballs until I hopefully catch it. You know what this means, folks? We only have one shiny left to get. And then we're done. That is not a good sign. What move did it even use just now? Well, I'm just hoping the ground-type moves won't affect Scyther. I don't know, I didn't really pay attention to what moves this thing has. It has 2 ground-type moves, and it knows Solar Beam. Doesn't it know Bulk Up? So that's all 4 moves it knows. It knows 2 ground moves, 1 grass move, and then 1 Bulk Up. It used Precipice Blades, that's what it used to knock out Blissey? Oh. I don't imagine Solar Beam would do too much to Scyther. So the only move we would really need to worry about is Solar Beam, because ground-type moves won't affect Scyther. But we'll see, it's about to use Solar Beam on us. Let's see if it'll one-shot us. Nope, we're good. We're fine. I guarantee you guys, if this thing was in yellow health, I would have caught it by now. You know what I should try to do just for the sake of it? What? Oh yeah, it raises defense. I was about to say false swipe it down to 1 HP. You know, at this point, never mind. I'd rather use my turns trying to catch it. How you guys doing? You enjoy the sight of a shiny on the screen? Wow, this is so exciting gameplay, isn't it? Just throwing Pokeballs until it clicks. How many bulk ups can it use until its stats max out? Caught it! It's mine! We now have one left to catch. Let's see the summary. Any nature guesses? Too bad, I'm gonna show you right away. It's quirky nature. I have no idea if that's good for it or not. Shiny Groudon with the quirky nature. The music sounds so crunchy. Well, you spelled it with an O, so crunchy. Oh yeah, I should probably save. You ready to get some shawarmas this Sunday? Alright, so now that I got the shiny Groudon, and it's a little late for me to continue and start Rayquaza right away, so that means I'm going to end this soon. However, let me finish talking about the From episode first. Because I literally have like the ending to discuss, and then well, that means no Invincible discussion tonight since we got the shiny. Hold on, let's see here. Let me look it up real quick. Best nature for Groudon. Adamant, which is absolutely not what I just got. Oh well, whatever. Okay, back to the discussion. So we have the final scene of From for this episode. So yeah, poor Victor. Forgot he lost his sister. I need to hunt it again. I need to get rid of the shiny and hunt it until I get a shiny with an adamant nature, you say? Your wish is my command. Let me just give the Lepa Berry back to Trevenant. I should also heal it up too. So we get this scene where Randall goes to see Donna and apologizes for his behavior. Immediately I called bullshit. It's like, man, what are you really doing here? What do you really want from her? So then the final scene where Jim is going out to look for Randall as they're about to, stay the night at the RV. He goes by the corner and sees the fact that Randall has taken Donna hostage and tied her up onto a tree. And that's the final scene for the episode. I'm assuming he's going to use her as bait. Like, Donna, you know too much. You seem to be in on this. So, if this really is all fake, then you have nothing to worry about. We're gonna watch as the monsters rip you apart. Because it's all fake, you'll be fine. I feel like that's how it's going to play out. Donna's gonna scream, "No, you idiot! This is real! Untie me or you're gonna get me killed!" Jim's gonna be like, "Yeah, man, stop! This wasn't the plan! Let her go! You're gonna get her killed tonight!" And then Rando's gonna pull some sort of weapon out, like, no, this is real. We're doing this. Jim, get in the RV. We're watching this happen. Something like that. It would not surprise me in the slightest if somehow Jim got the upper hand in the next episode, locks Randall out, and then he dies. Would not surprise me if that happened. And then we're gonna see Donna scold Jim like, you see, moron? You see, dumbass? This is what happens when you tell people your tinfoil hat conspiracy theory and then they get the wrong ideas. This is what happens if you don't keep your mouth shut. And it causes people to panic and have ideas of their own. You get the idea now, Jim? To shut your mouth? That's kind of what I picture happening in the next episode. I swear to God, if it happens scene by scene, exactly how I played it, exactly how I just said it'll play out. Okay, well, we got Shiny Groudon, so next time will be the final Shiny that I plan to hunt for. Honestly, not really. We have one more to do. We have Rayquaza, and then that's it. We are done. We've hunted all of them. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm gonna call it here for tonight. I'll see you guys next time for the final hunt that we have. As well as, you know, the Invincible discussion I owe you guys from today. Hey, blame Shiny Groudon. Had it not been shiny, I would have gotten to Invincible. And let me tell you, it was a damn good Invincible episode too. Way better than what I saw in From. Alright. See you guys next time for the Rayquaza hunt. Alright, bye.